How racist are you on a scale from 1 to 10?
0.
0.
0.
You know, black people.
No, that is.
Where the fuck my blunt? Where the fuck my cup? Where the fuck my wrist?
So this scene starts off with Unc Rodgers and Bob Widow's in the middle of the ocean about to carry out this mission. And I can't lie, back in 2014, this man Cap had it all. Bro used to pop up on screen like,
Who are you?
I'm Steve.
and had everybody out here tweaking. Bro, to be honest, I knew that Cap was too OP when I saw him pull Bob Widow without even trying. Something the whole lame ass can only dream of. All I'm saying is now I understand why Cap hit Bruce with this face in Age of Ultron. Man, I just know Bruce somewhere on a spaceship right now hitting that same face as Shamik more when he watched Haley Steinfeld drool all over this nigga Michael B. Jordan. Bro, I swear the role of Spider-Man is cursed. You don't believe me? Just ask Tom Holland. And if that wasn't bad enough, Captain America decides to leave the team and go rogue. Bro was really out here calling the ISO on a whole private army. Okay, here's the plan. As soon as we on top of them, we'll land on the west side. I'm landing in Tilted. What? Did bro even have a parachute? Man, fighting Cap is like fighting a prime Jason Voorhees. No matter what you do, you finna lose. This man really decided to run down on 50 whole niggas by himself. And to be honest, I'm scared for the niggas. Man, if I'm being real, Cap might be the only person I think can end the gorilla versus 100 humans debate. Cause you throw this man in alone and I think he got it. Bro finna be walking out that shit sounding like Denzel in Training Day.
King Kong ain't got shit on me.
So after that, we see Cap land on this boat. And straight off rip, I can tell by this man's demeanor alone that he's about to go on a kill streak. Bro really sneaked up behind his first guard and hit him with a clean ass stealth kill. And how this man didn't hear him land behind him is beyond me. Cap must have been rocking them sketches with the extra padding. Then Cap comes running around this corner and throws his shield so hard it ricocheted off this first guard. Then it bounced off a wall and came back around just to hit this other guard in the face. Then he runs around the corner just to front kick this other nigga in half. Dude hit him so hard even Cap was out here like, damn! So after taking out damn near everybody on the ship, Cap finally locates the room of the leader. Just to find out this man George St. Pierre done teamed up with Seth freaking Rollins and Hydra. I guess back then the UFC must have been paying these niggas in coupons. Cause why I gotta see one of my goats out here doing this stuff shit in the MCU? I just know he pulled up to the leader of Hydra like these.
I can't eat! I'm broke, nigga! I'm broke! And you got the power to change that.
Bro, honestly, I'm just surprised the MCU was able to predict the UFC WWE Netflix mergers. These niggas must have been on the same shit them Simpson writers on. And judging by how bro was able to take out this entire crew like John Wick without breaking a sweat, I gotta place my bets on this nigga Cap. So we see Cap start off by almost taking this dude's head off with his shield after tracking his ass down. But bro's able to dodge that shit just in time for Cap to run to the window and run up on bro like these.
Oh, what you trying to do, Nate? Why your hand move? What you trying to get into?
And after seeing that shit, this man decides to do the smartest move possible. Kick this nigga in the balls and try to run away. And to be honest, I can't blame him. This nigga Cap is really out here fighting civilians while being juiced up on them 1950s steroids. The same shit that had Arnold Schwarzenegger out here looking like these. So Cap finally catches up to him outside and these two don't even exchange any words. They just get straight to boxing. And straight off rip, we can already see Captain America's years of combat training finally coming into effect. Cause bro's out here hitting shit I've only seen a prime death sentence hit. Bro really hit this man with them Nintendo weaves and knocked his ass down with his shield just for bro to bounce back up. And if I'm being honest, bro probably should have stayed down for real. Cause Captain America sees that shit and decides to run over to bro and hit this Karate Kid ass kick in the air. I'm surprised his ass didn't land and come down like,
dude, like, oh my god, like, can we talk about like the political and economic state of the world right now?
And this right here is exactly when I figured out why the Avengers chose Cap's old ass to be the group leader. Cause after doing all that shit, bro says fuck this shield and decides to run over and tackle this nigga straight through a steel door. Just by this man's form alone on that tackle, I could already tell he would have been drafted at least 143 picks before Shador Sanders. Probably right after Rod Wave and Dave Blanche. Anyways, after that, Cap hits bro with a right cross to knock him out, and then he goes to regroup with Bob Widow. And I can't lie, if I were in bro's shoes, I might have folded. Cause she really out here looking good as shit. W player build. I'm starting to understand the whole hype around Bob Widow. Man, all I know is Dr. Umar looking at me and the Falcon mad as shit right now.
How you doing?
Hey.
It only takes a little bit of white brainwash.
Anyways, Cap gets there, she's about to hack into the system and download all this information. So Cap decides to walk over looking confused as shit, and rightfully so. Niggas from the 1950s and just saw the capabilities of a USB stick. I know bro over here like,
Oh my god! Wow!
Man, I'm surprised his old ass didn't try to burn her ass by the stake. So Cap starts asking her some questions. And that's when we find out that Bob Widow was out here stealing this information because Nick Fury asked her to. So he decides to leave and head straight over to the S.H.I.E.L.D. headquarters to confront him about going behind his back. And that's when Nick Fury starts to tell Cap that there was a reason for him keeping secrets from him and the rest of S.H.I.E.L.D. this whole time. But Cap is not trying to hear any of that shit. I just know this man's 1950s internal monologue is probably tweaking right now. Bro started hearing orders from a black man and his brain couldn't compute. This shit had bro out here like Unc Rodgers.
Listen here, Steve, you take orders from me, not the other way around.
Oh no, this can't be.
So Cap starts crashing out on Nick for not letting him know about his plans. And that's when Nick Fury looks him dead in the face and is all like,
I do share. I'm nice like that.
And he decides to take Captain America down to S.H.I.E.L.D.'s lab and show him exactly what they were planning. And I can't lie, if you knew what I knew about this nigga Cap, then you'd be surprised this man was so civil in this elevator. After seeing what Cap does later in this movie, I would say that Nick Fury got off lucky. So after that, Nick starts showing Captain America what S.H.I.E.L.D.'s been planning.
This is Project Insight. 3 next-generation helicarriers synced to a network of targeting satellites.
And that's when we find out that Iron Man's been helping S.H.I.E.L.D. this whole time building this bunker. Bro's so rich, he just out here doing side missions and shit. Next thing you know, this man finna send Katy Perry to space. And after finding out that S.H.I.E.L.D's basically trying to control the world by putting these drones in the air, Cap decides he doesn't want to be a part of it and leaves. And to be honest, I don't even know why Nick Fury decided to show Cap's old ass this in the first place. Only thing bro's old ass is used to bringing into battle is a musket. I know for a fact as soon as bro heard the reload times are under 5 minutes, he immediately started tuning out.
Fuck you, bitch. Fuck you, bitch. Fuck you. Fuck you, bitch. Just wait. Just wait. I'm not waiting for shit. I'm gonna blast your bitch ass in 7 minutes,
yeah?
bitch.
All right.
Weak ass shot, bitch. Just wait.
So after that conversation, Cap decides to hop on his bike and dip. And to be honest, at this point, I can't even blame him. Bro lost his day one in the first movie, and now his fine shit out here looking like these.
No offense, my baby, no offense, but you ugly as shit. You ugly as shit. I wouldn't smash.
Bro, no cap, when I saw her chopped ass pop up on screen, I thought it was a jump scare. And I know I'm not the only one questioning how Cap really decided to leave the MCU over these. Bro really let the mantle of Captain America go to this crimson chin looking nigga over a bitch who looked like that old fish who loved chocolate.
Chocolate. I remember when they first invented chocolate.
Bro, all I'm saying is that's one of the biggest fumbles in cinematic history. And to be honest, I don't even know if I can back this nigga. Bro really had us out here paying a subscription just to see this butt-faced nigga disrespect the flag. Like it wasn't already enough, he let Thanos clap his shit just to hand the shield off to this armadillo-faced fraud, the Falcon. The same nigga with no super serum that Cap was literally running laps around in the beginning of this movie. I'm not gonna lie, America's cooked. They finna have a gap-toothed Captain America representing their whole country. Shit's almost as bad as Noah Lyles. Imagine you're in dire need of help and you see this nigga looking at you like these. I don't know how to explain it, but bro looks like he sounds like Chris Eubanks.
This here is truly stupendous.
Man, I swear, back in the day, their name used to ring fear. Now people hear the Avengers are on the way and hit the...
Boy, if you don't...
So after that, the scene switches to this Hydra base in the middle of nowhere. And we cut inside just to see these niggas running a whole bunch of tests on the Winter Soldier, turning Ro into a sleeper agent. They really had this man going through the same shit as Mason off Black Ops. Or worse, Robot Chicken.
Ohio, fries in the bag. Tong 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 sir. Boss, the brainwave protocol is complete. The Winter Soldier is now active. My name is Bucky B, and I'm here to whoop ass and chew bubblegum, and I'm all out of ass. Boss, I think there's something wrong with him.
So after that, the Winter Soldier is finally up and running and ready to strike. And bro pops out a straight demon. I know these Hydra guards feeling the same way as those doctors did when they helped deliver King Vaughn. And you know bro's different when all the people who ran into him talking about him like these.
One of Satan's greatest soldiers was
blowing niggas down, boy, come here. Everything I say, I mean it. 690 say CDC. They know King Vaughn.
And to make things even worse, after being activated, bro finds out his first target is none other than this man Nick Fury. So we switch back to see this man Nick back at the headquarters is about to look at the USB Bob Widow brought him. But as soon as he tries to plug it in and look, he finds out that he's been locked out of his own system.
Alright, let's see what we got. Edith, open up the files.
Access denied.
Override. User Nick Fury.
Access still denied.
On whose authority?
Nick Fury.
We'll bypass it.
What do you want from me? I race like a nigga.
And after that, bro starts to go into a straight panic. First thing he does is decide to tell the president they need to hold off on Project Insight until they can figure out what's going on. And I know this nigga's pissed. First it was GTA 6 and now this. So after that, Nick Fury decides to leave and hop in the V. Bro was really out here moving like he was in the clear. Nigga ride around the city with the windows down listening to music and everything. Just for these cops to pull up beside him and see that he's melanated. Bro was the literal leader of Earth's mightiest heroes, but a simple traffic stop got him out here sweating like these.
Want to see my lease?
I'm not gonna lie, I'm surprised S.H.I.E.L.D. didn't see this coming. With the amount of technology S.H.I.E.L.D. has, it could have at least gave this man a disguise or something. Bro, if that were me, as soon as I saw these cops coming, I'd be out here like...
License and registration, please.
So these cops decide to drive off and Fury looks over to check if everything's good. Just for these lights to turn green and this other car to come crashing into the side of his whip before the rest of these cop cars start ramming the fuck out of his car and block him in so he can't escape. Had this man out here popping stim packs and everything. Just for these cops to surround him and see bro holding something up and hit the freeze!
Because I got a popsicle, you think?
That's gotta be racist. There's no way. I'm gonna just keep it real. There's no way that is like of our culture.
And at this point, I know Samuel Jackson just wishing they stuck with their source material. Cause I can't be the only one thinking this shit wouldn't be happening if Nick Fury was out here looking like these. So after loading the clip on this nigga, these cops decide to bring out a whole ass battering ram and line that shit right up outside his window. And I know this man Nick Fury's scared as shit right now. Bro saw that shit and immediately became a passenger princess. So they start hitting the shit out of this man's car. But he's able to time the last hit just before the glass breaks and pulls out this turret and start unloading the clip on these Hydra agents. And no cap, I just want to know what these Hydra agents was shooting at this whole time. Cause how they point blank raging, still missing they shots. They really out here with that stormtrooper aim. Can't land for shit. Anyways,
I ain't got no time for that jump. Jumping out that pit, I take no trauma, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I hate to say Edith, but this is not the time for two Hollies.
I understand. Shuffle mode activated.
Hump me. Fuck me.
No, this is even worse. Nigga like me would have seen that shit and pretended the V didn't start. I'm trying to get home. And to be honest, that's exactly what these guards should have done. But instead they try to go chasing after him just to get put in the armbar and eviscerated by the same truck that be taking out all them niggas in anime. And after all the dust settles, Nick starts to look around to see if the coast is clear. Just for him to look up and see this nigga Winter Soldier dressed in all black standing in the middle of the street. Nigga was so cold, as soon as he came on screen he had his own intro music. And I can't even lie, even though bro's supposed to be the main antagonist of this movie, this still might be one of the coldest intros in the MCU. I can't even hold you. Nigga really popped out rocking the Cardi face paint and everything. Then he attaches his disc grenade to the bottom of Nick's car and then blows it up just to casually sidestep out of the way like it was nothing. So after that, we see Bucky tweaking that start to walk over to Nick to put him on a t-shirt. But when I tell you, out of everybody in the MCU, this man Nick Fury has the most plot armor, believe me. Cause how bro see this man walking him down and pulling a whole lightsaber to cut through the damn concrete. Look, I don't care what tech S.H.I.E.L.D's supposed to have in these movies, there ain't no way this shit will be possible. And Nick Fury big ass ain't fitting through this hole. So after that, the scene switches back to Cap as he's about to pull up to his apartment. But that's when he runs into some fine shit and tries to spit some game. And all I'm saying is you can tell this man hasn't successfully pulled since the 1900s. Bro really out here like,
what would you do if you saw me at the red light and I honked my horn at you and we made eye contact and I said to you, what's up, baby girl?
So she ends up turning this nigga down respectfully and lets him know that he left his stereo on in his apartment. And that's when Cap starts hearing some music playing that he didn't turn on. And as soon as this man heard it was rap music, he knew something wasn't right. Only thing Cap's racist ass listens to is Elvis and Asian music. So after hearing that shit, Cap decides to sneak through the window into his own apartment just to turn the corner and see this man Nick Fury laid up on his couch. And I know Cap's old ass is pissed right now. His racist ass ain't even thinking about the intruder. He's just thinking about how he got a black man in his apartment. So Fury starts using his phone to secretly let Cap know that S.H.I.E.L.D's been compromised. But before they can even say what it is, they decide to do this man like Chris Brown and stomp the yard. Oh! So this girl ends up coming back in the apartment, and that's when we find out that she was a secret agent for S.H.I.E.L.D. this whole time, which really just makes the fact that Cap was trying to rizz her up even more weird. Like it wasn't already weird enough that this 90-year-old was going after a 20-year-old. Cap must have learned how to rizz from that man Leonardo DiCaprio.
Can we just talk about
So Cap decides to jump outside and tries to chase down the person who shot Nick Fury before he can get away. And you can tell this man is mad as shit as soon as bro starts running through the building like Hulk when he was out here trying to get some cheeks. Just for him to finally have an open shot and throw his shield at the Winter Soldier. Just for this man to turn around in the last second and snatch that shit out the air. I can't lie, that's tough. Bro really grabbed his shield and tossed it back at him like Marquez. And I can't lie, this is one of the main reasons why I say Cap is lame as hell. Cause like at least with Mjolnir, only Thor could hold it for the most part. But I can't even count the amount of times Cap's shield's been passed around in the MCU. At this point, I don't know if it's a weapon or a girl with daddy issues. And don't even get me started on the fact that this shit was dead ass turned into scrap metal by that nigga Thanos. This was supposed to be a whole epic moment. Bro finally dual wielded the shield and hammer. Just for Thanos to have Cap looking down at that shit like,
oh no! It's broken!
Anyways, after that, Bucky's able to escape. So Cap decides to go check on Nick Fury back at the hospital. And I can't lie, this nigga's cooked. Bro really went from the head of S.H.I.E.L.D. to being out here looking like these. One interaction with the CTE soldier and this man already out for the count. Anyways, while he's there, Cap runs back into Bob Widow. And the two of them decide it's up to them to figure out what's been going on with S.H.I.E.L.D. So Bob Widow goes out to get some information while Cap gets called into the head office of the president to explain why Nick Fury was at his house before he got shot. And as soon as he gets there, he can tell that something's not right. Bro came and asked him questions, and when he didn't cop a plea, they tried to blame it on bro. Had Cap out here like,
Captain, you were the last one to see Nick alive. I don't think that's an accident.
I'm like, what did he say fuck me for?
And right after that, we see Cap leave the meeting and go straight into this elevator. And that's when these three S.H.I.E.L.D. agents walk in looking like some backup Cardi dancers, rocking all black. And peep game, the first thing Cap does is look directly at the black dude. I swear you can take the nigga out the 1950s, but you cannot take the 1950s out the nigga. I mean, these other two guards looking sketchy as shit. One of them literally has their hands drawn on their weapon, but all bro can focus on in the moment is the niggas. Cap was moving like there was still segregation. And right after that, the elevator door opens up again and more guards walk in. And look what this old racist ass nigga Cap decides to do next. Whole room of niggas and Cap's out here giving the dark skin the stank face. This is the face of pure disgust and hatred. And tell me how the first thing Cap does is look directly at this man's lips and immediately follows that up by focusing on his nose. Anyways, this elevator door opens up one last time, and at this point we all know
it's about to go down.
So Cap takes a second to look at the black guys in the room one last time before hitting one of these.
You know, black people. No,
and then they get straight to boxing. And at this point, I can't even blame these Hydra agents for trying to jump this nigga. To be honest, that's the best option. But even with the numbers advantage, these niggas still ended up getting their asses beat, and it's not even fair. They really started off by trying to jump this man, just for Cap to start fighting back as soon as they tried to handcuff his fist in the air. Bro saw a black man try to put him in restraints and immediately got a +10 to his strength. So Cap starts off by hitting this throat uppercut, weave back elbow into a front kick combo. And then he follows that up by punching this old head so hard he starts looking out the window. Had this man out here like, oh, look at that. I can almost see my home from here. And I hate to say it, but I don't know how these Hydra grunts were even able to infiltrate S.H.I.E.L.D. in the first place. Cause these niggas is straight trash. Like, how you got this man pinned up against the wall and you still out here getting your shit weaved? These niggas garbage. So after that, Cap's finally able to take out the rest of these guards. And at this point, I don't even know if it's fair anymore. Bro really only winning these fights cause he's juiced up. I swear, you give him a couple more years and this nigga's gonna be out here looking like Wanderlei Silva. Can't lie, without the super serum he cooked. I just know bro out here like,
so when Marlon loses his eye, he gets aura, but when I win a 20v1, I get negative 10,000 aura? Wow, I see how it is.
Anyways, after that, we see Cap open up the elevator door just to see a group of Hydra agents standing right outside of it waiting on him. And I guess after whooping everybody's asses, bro had too many fates for the day. Because instead of fighting, Cap decides to cut the elevator line. Then turns around and jumps straight out the window, sending himself falling 10 stories down straight onto some concrete. Just for him to pop up right after like nothing ever happened. And if they trying to say it's that super serum that made him survive that shit, then they gotta look into the crackheads in my city because they be doing the same shit on the daily. Anyways, after that, we see this man Cap escape. And the next time we catch up with him is when he's teamed up with Bob Widow, after they found out in a bunker that Hydra was basically controlling the world this whole time.
After the war, S.H.I.E.L.D. was founded, and I was recruited. The new Hydra grew, a beautiful parasite.
And bro, look at this man's face right now. This is the same face as somebody who just found out everything they live for is a lie. Bro, I remember hitting this same face when I found out Zendaya's last name wasn't Zendaya. Bro really out here looking like he about to cry right now. So after that, Cap meets up with Bob Widow and the Falcon to interrogate the leader of S.H.I.E.L.D. Just for bro to immediately start copping pleas as soon as Bob Widow dropkicked his ass off a building.
Tell me about Zola's algorithm.
Never heard of it.
What were you doing on the Lumerian Star?
I was throwing up. I get seasick.
So that's when he starts to let them know that the Winter Soldier is a sleeper agent who is tasked to take out Nick Fury. And after putting this man on his t-shirt, his next target becomes Unc Rodgers. So they head out to stop the Winter Soldier before he can get to Steve. But bro doesn't even give him time to breathe, cause before they can even make it home, this man then hopped on a V just to grab this bald-headed nigga and toss him out that shit. And look, I know this is about Bucky, but we really gotta talk about how this nigga Truck Coon done pulled up for the second time. I just know the people back at the Hydra headquarters happy as shit right now. And I can't even lie, I'll be hyped too. These niggas was really out here moving like a prime Miami Heat. So they slam on the brakes and Bucky hits these niggas with a cha-cha slide.
No, I'm not a fan. Damn. Niggas really shoot no accident. I can't make this shit up. I cannot pretend. Damn.
Leave it up to the MCU to be having their heroes hitting that Spider-Man pose. And at this point, I don't know if bro is out here malfunctioning or horror farming. Had Bob Widow out here forgetting she was holding a whole ass gun with a wide open shot. Like, bitch, if you don't hurry up and hit this man with that
sweet cheese in your snitching ass.
Like, how you really letting bro aura stop you in your tracks?
He's just standing there, menacingly.
Man stood up and had these niggas in the whip tweaking. Had these niggas so enamored they didn't even notice this big ass SUV about to ram into the back of their whip. So Bucky jumps on top of that shit while Falcon tries to drive away. And then bro looks down and decides to do the unthinkable.
Let me drive the boat.
This nigga snatched the steering wheel out the V. Had this man Falcon looking like these. Then sent the whip flying. But Cap was able to grab both Bob Widow and the Falcon and save them before it exploded. And at this point, I don't know if he's Captain America or Captain Save-A-Ho. But to be honest, that's the least of the words, because they got this CTE demon Bucky walking down on them at the same time. And to make things even worse, this nigga done got a grenade launcher. So Bucky starts to load in the clip and they all decide to run away. And this man decides to focus on Bob Widow. Bro's AI must have tuned into that ass. So he starts to chase her down just for him to get tricked by this fake ass recording she set up. And then she pops out of nowhere hitting this nigga with a flying kick. And then moves into a triangle lock. Bro, leave it up to Bob Widow to always be out here fighting with their coochie. All I know is a nigga like me would see that shit and be like,
I volunteer as tribute.
Anyways, Bucky decides to lift her up over his head and toss her into a car like she's that man Simba off Lion King. So she throws this device that makes his arm go limp, giving her just enough time to escape. And I just know that shit felt like straight static. The same feeling you get whenever your arm falls asleep. So Bob Widow runs away just for this man to rip that shit off, hit the Arthur fist, and get back to hawking these niggas down. And as she's running away, Bucky lines up the perfect shot and hits her straight through her shoulder. Then jumps on this car to line up a second shot, but that's when Captain Save-A-Ho comes out of nowhere. And they really had my man running like that cop off of Sunny with the chance of meatballs over some cheese. I just know for a fact bro was over here like,
she is very gorgeous to me.
So Cap runs over just for Bucky to use his arm to punch this man's shield and stop him in his tracks. And I just want everyone to take a second to prepare for this masterclass in ass whoopings. Cause bro starts off by drop kicking Cap in his kneecaps. Then shoots his AR so he has to shield up, giving him just enough time to pull out his weapon wheel and hit this quick swap. Just for Cap to run over and kick that shit out of his hand. But this man really pulling out the weapons out of nowhere. Like damn, my guy done bought out the whole armory. But bro really said that's not enough and decides to look at Cap's shield and grab that shit. All I know is from Cap's POV, he watching this man grab that shit like,
give it to me! Give it to me! Give it to me! Just give it! Damn!
Then these two start fighting over the shield. And I know I said it before, but the fact that this man gets his own weapon stolen every other freight has to bring down his draft stock. Like how you let bro spin you out your shit when your side has the arm grip? And right when he takes his shield, his mask falls off and Cap finally finds out that the nigga he's been fighting this whole time was his day one Bucky. And I just know we having flashbacks of them together back in 1950. Bucky? Who the hell's Bucky? But before they can even run their fade, Bob Widow and Falcon show up to save the day. And Natasha's able to hit Bucky with the grenade launcher right before he was about to put Cap on a t-shirt, giving them enough time to escape and head back to regroup. So they head back to the SHIELD headquarters, and when they get there, they find out that Nick Fury was able to survive. So he starts letting them know everything about SHIELD's plans and that the president is the one who sent Bucky out to attack all of them. So they decide to make a plan, then head out to take down the Winter Soldier once and for all. And I can't lie, this new drip Cap rocket looking cold as shit. So Cap starts off by running in and taking out a few guards, while the Falcon uses that time to distract the others so he can find Bucky. And I can't lie, even though I was hating on this dude earlier, this gap tooth nigga actually nice. Bro really pulled out the akimbos and took out these guards just for him to hit the Cap, slight problem. What is it now, Blackie? Okay, the name's Falcon, but how fast does a jet go? And at this point, I don't even know if this is fair. Hydra done brought out everybody. They even got my niggas from Star Fox giving the pilots instructions.
Eyes open, 4 enemies ahead.
I got him.
I swear, more niggas done pulled up than Smash Bros. So Cap and Falcon are able to plant the bombs on 2 out of 3 of these ships. But before they can plant the 3rd one, they hear some noise, and that's when Bucky pulls up. And this man out here ready to squabble after Hydra done gave his ass a few more doses of CTE. And if you thought this man was moving crazy before, then look at the way he moving now. Bro started off launching straight grenades, taking out civilians and everything, just to blick this man and Kobe or grenade into this jet. And if that wasn't bad enough, Bucky decides to pick this man up and toss him into a jet engine. Then he runs over to Cap and shoulder checks his ass off the edge, just to grab the Falcon by the wing and rip that shit straight off him. Then run over to him and punch this nigga like he's destroying. And I can't even cap the fact that this man threw hands with Bucky and survived is crazy. Bro's really out here fighting with no super serum or anything. Hey look, even though I was hating on his ass earlier, he kinda tough. Like I have to give my props, even though this man looked like he talked like these.
You're like an Indian summer in the middle of a winter.
So after that, the Falcon's at the battle, so it's up to Cap to finally fight Bucky one-on-one. And bro pulls up just to see this man standing in the corner looking mad as shit. So Cap throws his shield just for Bucky to use his fist and block it. And then he starts letting off straight shots at this man. I can't lie, as soon as I saw this man Cap get grazed, I thought it was OV. Like we not even 30 seconds into this fade and this man already taking tick damage. So Cap's finally able to get some hits in, but that's when Bucky decides to tackle him over the railing. And then these two start going hit for hit. Shit was looking like when Rocky fought a prime Ivan Drago. And at this point, I don't know who's who. So Bucky ends up hitting this man with the uppercut so hard it sends his ass flying across the room. And then he tries to apply more pressure, but that's when Cap realizes who he truly is. America's ass. A title so prestigious it's only held by people like Kim K. So Cap hits this man with the backhand into a knee combo, then follows that up by spamming this nigga with headbutts. And then he picks this nigga up and puts him in a choke slam. And if that shit wasn't embarrassing enough, he decides to snatch up his good arm and snatch his head in half. And this right here is exactly why Cap deserved to be group leader. Bro really pulled up to run the fade with his day one and had Bucky out here leaving this shit like these.
Here, oh, take my hand. Ah, come on.
And if that wasn't bad enough, right after we see Captain America plant the last explosive, and he decides to call into the shield telling him to blow it up while they're both inside of it. Bro really said he finna crash out for this shit. We should have believed him, cause Nick activates the bombs and all 3 of these ships start going down. But that's when Cap looks over just to see Bucky trapped on the ground under some metal. And y'all can say whatever you want about Cap, but in my books he a real nigga. Cause after everything these two done been through, this man still hops down to try to save this man before the ship explodes, just for Bucky to get free and immediately start stowing off on this nigga. Had this man on the brink of death before Captain America said the magic words that finally reversed a trance set by Hydra.
Cause I know somewhere deep down in my heart I still love you.
MCU niggas really hit us with the Dark Knight versus Man of Steel. And with that, Captain America saves the day and the Avengers are born. And the next time we see the Winter Soldier pop up on screen was Civil War. Anyways, more of the story, y'all.
Bye, have a beautiful time.
I give you all of my love, and you do that shit all the way. Why you always act brand new? Like, who is this hoe? Like, what is your name? I got change for you, nah, I cannot change for you. Late night, I'm in the store, yeah, same here, think about you. You always had to be made for each other. You always had to be perfect together. I like your ass and I couldn't do better. You love my ass and I couldn't forget you.